Hi, Attorney Pena here, immigration attorney in South Texas. Today I want to talk to you about moms and how often I see this one scenario in my office. I'm going to record this in English, but I will come back and record it in Spanish. So, hoy voy a grabar este video en inglés, pero voy a regresar a grabarlo en español porque este tema de las mamás en términos de migración es muy importante de entender. So first I want to talk to you about how often I see a mom who leaves herself at the very end of immigration legal relief and how dangerous that can be to keeping the family together. I understand that some children require priority, right? And normally we want to protect our children, but there are ways to try to protect the entire family at the same time. So very often I see moms who take care of all the kids and their immigration papers. They'll take care of the spouse before they take care of themselves. And then they come in at the very end of everyone else being taken care of, and they might not have any legal relief at that point. Or they might be too afraid because they've spent 20 years in the US undocumented, but it feels like home. So where do we go with these situations? There are some options, but it's really important to understand that when the mom is left at the very end, it puts the family at risk for her to get deported, and then what happens to the rest of the family? What happens to the children who no longer have what is generally considered the primary caregiver for the kids? If the mom, for example, is deported to Mexico, it's very difficult to bring her back legally. If she gets a notice to appear in court, that might make it a little bit easier to at least fight at the beginning of a case, but that doesn't mean that people are going to win, right? So I want you to consider these things, that when you come into an office, an attorney's office like mine, you want to make sure that not only is your family taken care of, but as a mom, you want to make sure that your legal relief is addressed as well. Sometimes within one family, people might be in different positions, legally speaking. Some children might be from Mexico, for example. Some children might be US citizens. Maybe the father entered with a tourist visa and mom is in a completely different situation. Moms are often victims of domestic violence, for example, or maybe mom entered on a tourist visa and but she has no USC family, United States citizen family. So I want to make sure that you understand that when you come into an office, you explain everybody's situation. When you come in, you might have an idea of, yes, I want this child to be protected, but an attorney must address the mother's situation as well as the primary caregiver. So what the main scenario that I see is that mom is suddenly 20, 25 years in the United States and she has nothing to show for it. She has no ID, no work permit, no legal relief, at least preventing her from not getting deported, let alone relief that will allow her to become a legal permanent resident or a United States citizen. So I want to make sure and address that, because right now, if you're having trouble figuring out what kind of solution or what kind of gift to give your mom, there might be a legal solution for that. So I am inviting you to come to my office for a free initial appointment. Well, you can come to my office or you can call us. It's much easier to call or to have a video conversation, especially for the first time if you're scared or you don't know what this is going to be about. What my assistants do the first time that they speak to you is we've prepared a list of questions that they can ask you, and they will ask you those questions and take information down so that I can review it and analyze it to see if there's something there. And if I think that there might be, we'll schedule a second appointment so that we can get really in depth about what your case is about or a potential case. After that, we'll discuss options. If you have a variety of options, we'll discuss each one. And a big part of this is talking about the consequences of those options. Now, one other final thing I want to address is when people come into the office expecting an attorney to win. Even a mom who's in a situation where she might have disabled children in her family and she's the primary caregiver, maybe even the primary financial person, the person who earns the money as well. Even in that situation, there are other decision makers involved. So when you have a different decision maker involved, like a judge or an asylum officer or anybody, another type of officer who's reviewing a family petition, that person has the decision-making control over your case. The purpose of an attorney is to put the client or put you in the best position possible to win that case, to anticipate the questions that a judge or an officer might have, and then provide evidence to talk about those things, right? So there are laws that you have to follow, and there's evidence that you need to provide, right? You can't just go in telling a story. Well, you could do that, but when you don't have anything to back it up, it makes the decision maker's job a lot more difficult. And so the purpose of an attorney is to defend, and anticipate questions, prepare you for interviews, prepare you for court to make sure that you understand the strengths and the weaknesses of your case and what the judge or the government attorney might ask you in that situation. So again, I want to invite you to a free initial appointment with my office. Give us a call today at 956-831-1424. Give your mom at least the gift of a free assessment. And when we find that legal authority in her case, we're able to make an appointment so that we could start filling out applications and informing you about the consequences of what can follow after that. So give us a call, 956-831-1424. We take clients nationwide. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.